At least 11 mine workers have died and dozens others injured at the Impala Platinum Mine in Rustenburg, that's in the northwest. The mining company saying a cage plunged down a shaft after a cable snapped last night. The mine spokesperson, Johan Theron, explaining what happened.
5 o'clock yesterday afternoon, during the normal backshift procedure of picking people up from the bottom of the shaft, 11 shaft at our Rustenburg operation, moving upwards. When the conveyance reached the 17th level, unexpectedly it started slipping down in the opposite direction, down the shaft. Emergency protocols was immediately applicated, but regrettably it failed to arrest the slipping conveyance. And that then slipped down the shaft and then was suddenly arrested at the bottom of the shaft when the counterweight, which balances the whole system, reached the top of the surface. So you almost had an instantaneous deceleration, of people standing upright in this conveyance. 64 has been admitted to hospitals in the area, 22 in our own hospital, 42 in private and public hospitals in the Rustenburg area. At the scene, the medical personnel, before people were transported, obviously provided the necessary care. And those patients are now receiving, expert medical condition, in line with what the diagnoses were at the shaft.
Well, let's stay with the mine spokesperson, Johan Theron, who says operations have been stopped.
It's a national disaster. It's very, very sobering. The whole Impala team is reflecting very deeply today and morning. The operation is stopped. We have sent some people down underground at our other shafts to, you can't just stop to make sure that it's safe, to stop safely today. It's not a production day for us. It's a very, very sobering day in which we have to mourn and support and stand together as an Impala family. And obviously we are addressing, not just the people at 11 shaft, but the entire operation.
All right, let's continue the conversation around this mine disaster now. And we are joined by AMCU's General Secretary, Jeff Mphahlele, who is talking to us on the line. We also are joined via Zoom by the NUM's Health and Safety National Secretary, Masibulele Naki. To both of you, gentlemen, thank you very much for your time. Can I start with you, Mr. Mphahlele? My understanding is that your union is the majority at this platinum mine. Are you at this stage clear as to the death toll? Right now we are reporting that 11 people have died. What are you told on the ground?
Thanks, Toli. I think the information you have, it's pretty much the same with what I have. I had a team's meeting with Impala officials this morning at 7, where they were briefing us almost similar to what Theron has just said, that 11 unfortunately have passed on and 44 have been spread into 3 hospitals in the country or around Rustenburg, and then 19 are still kept in the, in the Impala hospital.
Yeah.
So I must say up front that our hearts are with the families of those who have just left us unceremoniously so, and may their soul rest in peace. However, we will be going there. I'm on my way to the scene. So I think the information will probably be given to us when we are there, because what we hear now, it's just a hearsay. We need to examine and see what is happening there.
Yeah.
So that we get to the bottom of the matter.
All right, let's bring into the conversation Mr. Naki. Mr. Naki, thank you very much for your time as well. As the NUM, let's focus the attention on the injuries, because these are people who were on a shaft or something that looks, based on the description, something that looked like an elevator. And so people are standing. When this is going to hurtle down a shaft, which we are told is probably roughly about 1 kilometer down, the kinds of injuries that these 64 people would have sustained? What are we looking at here?
Thank you very much, Mr. Zwan. Let me also appreciate the opportunity and greet the viewers at home. This is a very unfortunate and a sad event to the labor organizations, AMCU and NUM, Solidarity and WAS. So we are sending our condolences to the families whom they lost their loved ones, and we wish those who are injured a speedy recovery. We currently not have details of from yesterday of those who are injured, of what conditions are which they stand on as of now. But we will be driving to hospital and check the conditions as much as we know that their families are with them now. But we would like to stress the point that is raised by Comrade Mphahlele, that on our arrival to the shaft, as the regional leadership of all unions are already there. When arrived to the shaft, we would like to stress a few issues that will forever be a concern on how the shaft is examined by mines. We can't be standing on a historical examination of a shaft. The shaft, according to our knowledge by now, which is a historical one, that is examined, the roof of a shaft is examined after 6 months, where they cut the front in 6 months, and then they cut at the back and they check. They even cut at the middle and send it for proper examination. And there are monthly examinations. So you wonder why this incident happened in Impala if all those procedures were followed. And there are arresters which, when the case is loading people, that they must hold the case not to just lose. Now, I think it's above 30 years since 1995, on the 10th of May in Varibs, when we have this disaster like this, when the shaft, even there, it was not an issue where it was a fault of a rope. A locomotive went down to the shaft in Varibs number 2 shaft. 2 years back, in Ivan Mine in Limpopo, a computer failed system and a shaft went to bottom. We lost 3 lives. Yeah. So this is an issue that we need to attend to. It can't be a business as usual. Whilst we project this lift that we're talking about, we will call it a case. This case is not only lifting people, which are human beings, it's also taking down materials and so on, which are heavy material. Yeah. So it needs to be examined properly and follow the procedure. And workers are telling us, of which we cannot confirm that, they are telling us that there were indications of an unsafe conditions of that case and that roof in weeks back. So you find yourself with what was the attention that were paid by the engineer and the mine itself with that particular time. Yeah. Now that we arrive in the mine, there will be no disaster. That's just boom, without indications that there will be this disaster. I'm telling you.
That's a very, very clear description, Mr. Naki, of the possible problems that may have been experienced here in the lead up to this disaster. Mr. Mphahlele, let's bring you back in. Mr. Naki is the NUM's Health and Safety National Secretary. So this is his job, the core of what he does. Do you think that we should start talking about possible negligence on the part of the mine?
I think, Kole, as I indicated earlier on, that we cannot just looking for a needle in a dark room, but we need to get there and interview the mine officials and our people and investigation, because already GMR should come in as well to do the investigation. But I think for me, it's too early to say it was negligent. So until we are abreast with information, then we can speak from that way.
Yeah. Let's conclude the conversation. Mr. Naki, coming back to you, sir. So as things stand right now, how long do you foresee the mine to close for? Because the spokesperson has called this an international disaster and work has been stopped. When such things happen, I mean, 11 lives is no small matter. those lives have been lost. How long is the period of mourning, and the investigations themselves, how long do they take in order to establish who was at fault here?
The processes of investigation, I agree with Mphahlele that it depends to how severe is the situation when you arrive at the scene. So we may not be able by now to say how long it will take, but what I know, mine bosses are always prioritizing production in whatever situation. It will not be easy to take such a long time without production to them, though they will be feeling so sad and feeling for families, but at the bottom line, they want production to take place. So it might take a week or two. We can't speculate for now until we arrive at the scene or taking part in the investigation. But due to the fact that this incident happened at the shaft and the only access working places the shaft, it may take longer than they anticipate because they had to work at the shaft area. It may not be the only case that is damaged there. Even the shaft itself, when that case was going down, it may happen that it affected all the areas aside the shaft, the south walls and so on, even the bottom itself, electricity and so on. I think you have seen some pictures that the winder itself with the winder engine is also affected when that roof was going up. So it may take longer than expected, but what I may say clearly that mine bosses, wherever they are now, they are concerned of a production that it did not take place as from today.
Mr. Mphahlele, perhaps you get the last word. Regarding the mourning period, Mr. Naki points directly to what he says is the usual behavior of mine bosses, that they probably would be more concerned with production. Just this morning in the Business Day newspaper, they're talking about possible job losses of about 10,000, and that's based on the notices that have been handed out to workers. How long do you think this mourning period should go on up until?
I think only I would agree with Mr. Nati there. It's definitely that's how we characterize these mine bosses. And until up to the point where you speak very rough to them so that they understand that we are not just dealing with human furniture, but we are dealing with the lives of people. So we will intervene even in that aspect and see how can we do it bestly, so that our people receive their time of healing and so on and mourning. So because it's traumatizing. You have 88 colleagues that you were with yesterday, and today half of them are no more. So it's quite traumatizing for those who are behind and those who were party to what you call, who were part of the cage transportation. It's very difficult because we learn that gross what you call issues are happening there. Some have broken limbs and so on. So that's why I'm not able to comment at this stage. But yes, it's a serious matter. It's a serious matter that needs serious attention. We are not going to allow that in a week's time then they resume their operations and so on. So it's quite a sad situation.
All right. Mr. Mphahlele, we'll allow you time to head to the mine, and we are told that the Minister of Mineral Resources is also on his way there. Mr. Naki, thank you as well for your time, sir. The National Secretary of the National Union of Mine Workers, in fact, National Secretary of the Mine Health and Safety Division.